Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here. We are all talking here about to improve the world. But in order to improve the world, we have to understand the world first. And to understand something, you kind of need to understand the context around the issue you're looking at. So you have to create an awareness, a geospatial awareness around you. And we humans are pretty good. We have good senses, we have good eyes, we have a brain which can work with that, we taste, we smell. So something which is very close to us, we can understand pretty well, and we understand what's the problem is around. But as soon as you want to understand larger scale issues, that's not sufficient. Humans always try to help them with that. Building high towers, climbing a tree, watching from a bit far away, which helps to understand the context a bit. So, of course, what is the final way? If you want to get away and have an overview of larger areas, you have to go to space, or aerial, but then space. I think all of you agree, and probably a lot of you had this, remember that feeling when the first time you saw the Earth as a little dot, and you saw how tiny that is, how thin the atmosphere is, and you would agree that this was a dramatic change also in the awareness of humans about the world and how fragile that is. So space was always from the beginning a kind of a very powerful tool to understand the way around us. So I, as a young engineer, I'm studying aerospace engineering, did exciting stuff on space tethered, and I mean really going out, thinking about interplanetary. But sooner or later in the 90s, I realized, wow, I want to have an impact, and where can I have more impact would be, okay, let's focus on the Earth first and try to find a way to bring benefit to humans. So that's when I started to more think about remote sensing, because that was the most obvious way to have some short impact also on the world. So in 98, I created my first company, which was the company Rapid Eye. So at this time was a bit crazy. It was new space back then. We raised $200 million to build 5 satellites. Always good. Satellites are flying still today and delivering beautiful imagery, and we're the first actually system to regularly monitor agricultural stuff on Earth. But still, after a while, you realize, it's good to have one set of data, but the real value comes in when you can combine all different types of data. When you combine satellite imagery from different satellites, different frequency domains, different way of sensing technologies with ground data, with big data, with from internet. So, and if you look today, that's extremely difficult. I mean, you have to be an expert to know from raw data of satellite, all the different steps and going forward and combining those and building up your system, building up your application, understanding the customer, even doing your commercial way to the customer. And that's a huge entry barrier. And that prevents actually today still this technology to enter the mainstream. So often it just ends up in projects which are governmental funded. So that led me, or led us maybe, I'm not alone, led us 6-7 years ago to formulate that we say, okay, instead of investing another 100 million, 200 million in another data source, let's focus on getting together, making it easy, taking out the entry barrier for people to really come up with powerful solutions using all what is already up there. There have been billions invested in space. So that is what Cloudeo is about. We created a platform which makes it now very easy for everybody to access data, software, powerful architecture, automation mechanisms, even having a way to commercialize it to your end customer, and that's Cloudeo. So that's at the end it's a brokerage platform, but makes it really easy with powerful technology to come up with the solutions. So that's what we're doing, and I would be extremely happy talking with everybody of you, trying to convince you that this is the best thing ever. No, and please come up with questions afterwards. I will be pleased to.